Take a listen at the Senegalese President Bassirou Diomaye Faye announced the dissolution of the national parliament in accordance with the country's constitution, and announced that new parliamentary elections will now be held on the Sunday of November 17, 2024 for the Senegalese people to choose their new representatives in the National Assembly. This is a declaration that he made on the evening of Thursday, September 12, 2024. In an address to the nation in which he accused the current parliament, whose majority is led by Macky Sall loyalists, of at least three things, that is refusing to hold a budget orientation debate so as to pass his cabinet's budget, rejecting the constitutional bill aimed at abolishing the High Council of Local Authorities and Economic, Social and Environmental Council, as well as usurping the president's constitutional powers by setting a date for general policy declaration instead of leaving that task to him, in a clear violation of the constitution. It's a decision that he says he arrived at after deep consultations with various stakeholders and constitutional office holders within the government, including Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko. My dear compatriots, on March 24, 2024, the Senegalese people chose rupture and systemic transformation by voting in the first round of the presidential election. This historic election, held in a context of decline in our most basic fundamental rights, was imposed by a standing people, a people who preferred courage to resignation. This popular confidence honors me and inspires the determination of the nation's policy that the Constitution confers on me. It inspires me in the mission that I carry out, to think about our common future, and to break with anachronistic methods of governance in light of the renewed demands of our political society. As soon as I took office, I undertook to take stock as required by Article 1.7 of the Law on the Code of Transparency in the Management of Public Finances. The results of the audit submitted to date to the Court of Auditors for validation highlight a public management marked by lightness which has caused deliberately hidden slippages in the management of public finances with an uncontrolled evolution of the wage bill, debt and debt interest, a lack of control of subsidies and the slippage in drawings on external resources. The shortcomings noted have led to a serious deterioration in the framework of our country's public finances. The government, after discussion with technical and financial partners and other partners, will return to the subject at length, and the report approved by the Court of Auditors will be published. From now on, I would like to assure that responsibilities will be located at all levels of the administrative and political chain. My dear compatriots, my oath before God and the nation would give our institutions and soak the blood of the Senegalese who fell with the national ideal in their sling during the many struggles for our democracy. Unfortunately, the parliamentary majority has decided to row against the will of the Senegalese people, which was clearly expressed on the evening of March 24, 2024. First, by refusing to hold the budget orientation debate, which was obligatory, on June 29, 2024, for the simplistic reason of a supposed attack received on the political front. This violation of a legal obligation provided for in Article 56 of the Organic Law on Finance Laws will have seriously contributed to tarnishing Senegal's image in the eyes of international institutions. Then, by rejecting on August 29, 2024, the constitutional bill aimed at fulfilling the promise I made to the people to abolish the High Council of Local Authorities and the Economic, Social and Environmental Council, while the situation of public finances urgently requires rationalizing public spending. Finally, by going so far as to usurp the constitutional prerogatives of the President of the Republic to set a date for the General Policy Declaration in flagrant violation of Article 84 of the Constitution and Article 97 of the Organic Law on the Internal Regulations of the National Assembly. Not to mention the threat of a motion of censure that this majority is holding over the government. My dear compatriots, by imposing by force of law the date of September 13, 2024 for the declaration of general policy, it was not a question of duping the Senegalese people, but simply of firmly establishing the authority of the law, and of reminding by actions that the political order under my Majesty will never supplant the legal order. It was therefore my legal, ethical and moral duty not to give in the slightest shred of tolerance to the law's detractors. I therefore concluded that the pledge of frank collaboration with the parliamentary majority in the sole interest of the Senegalese people was an illusion. The latter having decided to turn away from the people to promote the cult of blockage, and thus hinder the implementation of the project on the basis of which I was elected. That is why, by virtue of the powers conferred on me by Article 87 of the Constitution, and after consulting the Constitutional Council on the right date, the Prime Minister and the President of the National Assembly on the opportunity, I dissolve the National Assembly. The date of the legislative elections is thus set for Sunday, November 17, 2024. I dissolve the National Assembly to ask the sovereign people for the institutional resources that will allow me to give substance to the systemic transformation that I promised them. Today, more than ever, the time has come to open a new temporality to our 5-year term. Article 3 of our Constitution recalls that national sovereignty belongs to the people. In doing so, the people are invited to take back their authorization titles and to decide sovereignly. If the National Assembly should reflect the deep aspirations for change that were expressed on the evening of March 24, 2024, or if it should remain the last blocking avatar of a fallen regime, in any case, the government guarantees the proper organization of elections and the free and democratic expression of the people's choice, and may the best win. Long live the Republic, long live Senegal.